Hey guys, it's your mate Mephisto here. Here's my old account, Mephisto Jr., where I finally finished the Marvel Duel New Game Plus Road to Hero BlackGold season. It's fair to say that I am confident to give a full detailed guide with my voice over to give some general tips on the deck building, on what card to use, best unity to unlock for legendary cards to prioritize, crafting, or to substitute cards that you don't have by reaching the 8th place in the season of BlackGold. Here's a little bit gameplay of the deck I'm using with 2 different sets of unities. Here's the deck list that I used in Road to Hero BlackGold season. The bread and butter here is to use the Warriors of the Brothers, which is Fandral, and then Hogun, as well as Volstagg. You can see the unity I've unlocked by the moment is Hogun, which stated that when this card loses armor in battle, grant Fandral and Volstagg armor of the same amount. And because of Volstagg basic skills, stated that when an Asgardian characters gain armor in battle, this card gains 2 power in 1 star, 4 power in 2 star, and 8 power in 4 stars. And with the unities, it basically means whenever it gets hit or when it is attacking opponent characters, this card will grant armor to the 2 other Warriors of Brother excluding himself, and it will generate tons of power to Volstagg. And it will be even better with the unity unlocked in Volstagg, but ignore this part because I only unlocked it in my next season. A little bit spoiler here, but it's totally fine and still able to reach the 8th place in the entire season, so it's still a major powerhouse. And you can see here I put a copy of Asgardian Shield, and it will be equipped to Hogun because there is not a god characters originally, so you have to equip the shield to Hogun. And then you can see I only put a copy of Fandral because by the time I only have 1. And for the unity to work, your front line with 6 characters in total, your 3 slots have to be 1 Fandral at least, 1 Volstagg at least, and 1 Hogun at least. The more the better, obviously. With that being said, I put 4 Volstagg and 4 Hogun in my build, and then I put Lady Sif as well as Heimdall here, because Heimdall, I know I'm very lucky in this account that I actually have this unlocked by drawing it from the 4 pack, I believe. I don't need to craft it, but if you don't have Heimdall, I could give you other suggestions later on in the video. But for now, I'm showing you the best deck or tier 0 meta defining deck that I used to climb to the position that I am at. But it is not as useful as compared to Odin. I also get a copy from drawing very luckily, and another copy from exchanging after drawing 60 packs. So everyone should have a copy just by drawing the 4 pack. And now you see I have 3 packs, but because I get another pack later on. But by the moment I only have 2, so I put 2 there, and then Call of Asgard, which is, some may use the Gunner, the weapon for Odin. However, I use Call of Asgard because this game is RNG based, and with other filter deck like Star-Lord, Spiderman, Neutral, as well as the lock deck, you may not be lucky enough to get all the key cards like Hogun, Volstagg, Fandral, the Warriors Brothers, or Heimdall, or Lady Sif, or just the Shield. With this Call of Asgard, you could put 3 copies or 4 copies, so that it helps you to guarantee getting one of the card in your card pool. It is very useful, much useful than the weapon in my opinion. And then Angela as well. Very lucky enough, this account I got all 4 copies just by drawing, and this is a very useful card even with just copy, because it gives you annihilate, critical hit, as well as assault, which means it takes actions before everyone else, even if you have fewer cards than your opponent, lower power than your opponent if your opponent don't have another assault card as well. So why this card is so impactful in any deck, really, you should put a copy of it in your deck, even if you're not in BlackGold season, if you're in Stardust season, Master season,
see you around.
The Conqueror season, or even General season, is whenever you use Thor, you should basically put a copy of Angela. It will help you to snipe important characters, say Loki, say opponents Odin, Captain Marvel, you name it. As well as when it kills the opponent because of critical hit, with 15 power it will deal 30 amount of damage, and by that, you in 1 star it will give 2 other characters armor, the same amount of characters that you defeat. And by that, if you have full team Asgardian, then Odin will do 2 times of 100 damage to the highest power. So sometimes even Angela didn't snipe Loki. By triggering Odin effect, it could snipe a lot of, or lower down the power level of a lot of opponent characters to secure the win. For Valkyrie, I only put a copy. It is a stuffed characters, which sometimes before finding Angela, I would say it's better than Lady Sif, so you could replace Lady Sif later on with Valkyrie. But it's certainly not as impactful. As for the skills of Thor, I personally recommend the Bridge Summoning, from leveling up your 4 hero to 10, because with these skills, you can essentially get cards that are locked in your season. You can get very powerful cards from that. Yeah, and then the next one is probably the Power of Thunder. It grants you another health. It grants you some battle gem extra. It's always good to have more battle gem. Yeah, and then Spiderman, you can say I only have one copy of each. Most of them I would say certainly have a very low priority compared to Thor. However, maybe Spiderman is a bit useful in some cases where you could equip the Asgardian Shield or the Captain America Shield or the Taskmaster Shield, or you can put it on the far left to hope that it died. Because even though the last words, it means it will trigger the effect after Spider-Man dies. It won't give you any benefits with the extra egg powers to all your Spider-Verse characters, since we're not using Spider-Man card. However, the all opponent stun effect is still a very powerful effect, since there's no way to counter and remove the stun effect in this early of the game. And Spider-Man also gives you one of the best skills, I would say, in any situation, which is the swing into action. The 12 gems active skills that you could only use one time, but it will grant you, like I said, pass through the locked of the current season. You can get multiple card from it. You can get some hero that is locked, because now you can only use for Spider-Man and Star-Lord. You could use like Deadpool, you could use Magneto, you could use Iron Man. So like sometimes early game, even in turn 7 to 8, before finding your key card, a 2-star 5-cost character card is very powerful. Certainly recommend it. Whenever you roll it, you find it in the shop by turn 3. Like one of the free skills. Other than that, most of them is more or less the same. So what I recommend you is to pick the skills that give you the most amount of gems, because by 3 of the skills, one of the skills will give you 4 extra, and then 1 2 extra, and 1 is just basic. Without the skills that I mentioned just now, the swing in action, the bridge summoning, as well as the Power of Thunder, I personally will say ignore it, and then just pick the 4 extra gems one. And then for Star-Lord characters, I also unlocked the Unity of Rocket Racoon, of the Rocket Racoon and Groot Unity, because there's no counter early on now for a 2-cost card. It is one of the very first Unity card. If you're not aware, it is a power spike and give you a very good advantage point for getting you a huge advantage before you finding the Warrior of Brothers. You could sell it in whenever you find all of the Warrior of Brothers, or like by turn 7 and 8, when there is not enough space for Odin, Warriors Brothers, Heimdall to be on the battlefield. There's literally no counter because the gems of Crimson will only be unlocked until the Stardust season. You could choose to also unlock the Unity of Groot to make this even better, and I would say the investment is certainly more worth it than if you use the same amount of crystal, which is 4,800 crystals, to unlock other Star-Lord legendary cards like the Starhawk, Adam Warlock, Milano, or Ego. And then you can also benefit from it in the next season and the season afterwards. It's always a powerful Unity even late game. For Starhawk, it is a must-have for a copy. Even without, it's still fine compared to Rocket Racoon and Groot Unity. And for the other combo without Angela, you can use Yondu as well as Duel Assault, which only give a round of an effect of critical hit and annihilate on a Guardian of the Galaxy characters, which in this case will be Yondu. It's better to equipped with the Hawkeye bow as well, so that it will give Yondu another 30 power and critical hit. With that pierce effect, it will easily snipe all the enemy's characters in one go. Only if they are not spawning Black Symbiote if they're Spiderman characters, or like Hyperion. But it will still be a traumatizing effect for the opponent's player. So let's move on to neutral ones. Ghost 2-cost characters easily the best currently in this season, which stated that you take 1 damage and summon a random 2-cost character with star level 1 in 1 star. Even I have 4 copies, I only put 1 copies, not because I don't have them in the time, but because it is a transitional characters and you will sell both of them by turn 3 or 4 at most. But the ghost could also can't pass through the Road to Hero lock, that you can have a chance to get other strong ass characters like the Hydra soldier or the training robots, etc. Even just like a random locked deck hero, it will still be very beneficial because you have 3 characters, then your opponents usually can only purchase 2. You have a chance to attack first, so giving you a high chance of winning, even just by taking 1 damage. As for the 3-cost slide, I put Earthen Strength, which I personally recommend putting 4 even. By the time I only have 2, so I put down 2. It basically gives you a high win rate or chance of avoiding to lose, because like I said, this game is RNG based, and times where you cannot find the Unities of Rocket Racoon and Groot, as well as the Warriors Brothers, or even like late game, you somehow gonna find Odin, and your opponent did, so you could use them then, or if you can strategically use them in like turn 3 or 4. It will give you less damage taken, like 2 each per use, and grant you 6 extra battle gems. You can either use this or the dueling rifles, which you have to bet if you win next round. But personally, I am a conservative player that I usually would use them as insurance. So really depends on playstyle. There is no best way of playing the game. The next one will be the Erik Killmonger. If you don't have Erik Killmonger, because I also only get this from drawing packs, luckily, then you can use Warps or Taskmaster or doing rifles, depends on playstyle as well. For Erik Killmonger, it gives you extra card, a cost 3 or lower invocation card in exact, which is useful. Even those cards are not useful, you can sell them for an extra gem. So just have it on the battlefield for 3 rounds or more. You can already have the full refund back. A very useful card, support card, the best support 3 cost card in the game as well. As for the 4 cost card, I put Resolute Assault. I would say this is certainly one of the best support card in the game. That should be in every deck, no matter what deck you use. It gives you 4 copies of card will give you a total of 12 health and 3 health per use. It is one of the few cards that will give you health back on your hero. And then will be Wearing Cry. It is also like a power card that should be used for a total of 4 copies. It would help you to find your key cards for 4 costs or lower, and in your card pool, and give it an extra 7 power. You can use it to find Warrior of the Brothers in this case, or Heimdall. Yeah. As for the Captain America Shield, I mentioned before, should equip either in Hogun or to Heimdall to give extra power and retaliate, which means it will having more counter damage to your opponent. And then Escape the Void, I put a copy. You could put 3 copies or 4 copies, it depends on playstyle, but it basically a filter card to refresh the shop and give all characters permanent 30 powers, which is a very strong card in this early game, which there's not much effect that give permanent power boost, as well as even it is not a key card that you roll it with, is still very powerful for 30 power. As for lock deck, with the current season enhancement, I would say the Chitauri Soldiers is certainly one of the best card to get early game. The earlier turn you get, the better it will be. By turn 7 and 8, you certainly will sell it with Heimdall and Hogun. Yeah, but early turn wise, certainly one of the best cards. Next one will be probably Shuri, because in the deck build you need a lot of armor, and it will give you armor. And then Hawk, the same guardian characters as the main build, which this card gives a lot of armor. Very helpful. And then the Taskmaster Shield, 60 armor, guard. So either Hogun and Heimdall again. So here's a little bit of downgrade version of the deck that I used just now, with a just basic copy of Odin, a basic copy of Angela, with all the unity of both the Racoon and Groot, as well as the Royal Brothers. It changed it to for Volstagg as well. Instead of Hogun, changed to Hovland, which give you extra armors before attacking, which grants Volstagg more power, as well as the thunder effect of Frog, as well as Odin. It same as before Star-Lord as well as Spiderman. It's just a filter cards that is not your bread and butter. You should sell them after you find all the key cards. So here, instead of Spider-Man, change to Comic Spider-Man, which should be in everyone's deck, and changed Venom to double Gangamal so that it could be benefited by, after dying, could generate back by the Comic Spider-Man. Changed Ghost to Outrider to give you a power boost for attack characters. Changing the Killmonger to Taskmaster, 4 copies in exact. You should easily get 3 copies from the normal drawings and playing the hero trials. Extra copies by drawing should not be too difficult to get. Even if you only have 3 copies, should be still fine, since there's a lot of guardian characters in the deck, as it will grant a lot of armor to Taskmaster. And Iron Will basically stated that you will not take damage as long as you have armor. When it pairs with Hovland, it will basically never take damage exceeding the armor, because it attacks before it gains armors before it attacks. And I changed the explosive trap to phasing in, which you could use situationally to remove some of your 2-cost card later on in the game to 4-cost card. Is random. It could also pass it through the lock effects for the current Road to Hero season, as well as could remove some of the low-cost character cards with Varying Cry, because it only assemble character card, not power card or encounter card or weapon card. And then change the Captain America Shield to the totally awesome rocket launcher, which you could equip it to Odin for higher survivability, as well as the Pumpkin Bomb doing the same thing. Hope you find this guide video useful, and don't forget to subscribe, give a like, and your comment on the best deck in Road to Hero BlackGold season, and whatever video you want to have next to cover. See you next time.